Hi, Chemistry. This is Mrs. Ellsworth. And this cartoon is so cute because it shows all these metals inside the classroom here, potassium, lithium, sodium, and it shows all of them being really attracted to what's outside the window, which you notice are all negative ions. So this is kind of showing how ionic compounds are combining with negative and positive ions. Of course, first of all, starting with metals. I wanted to go over this blue worksheet with you to remind you of some things that you know, to review, to help cement some ideas if you're struggling with some. And so this is a reminder on what an ionic compound is. It starts with a metal, and all of them end in nonmetals. Anyway, so when you're looking at this sheet, I'd like you to go through them right now and answer 1 through 4, and then start the video, pause the video, and go through answers 1 through 4, and then let's check out those answers. So the IUPAC naming system is what we've always been doing all along in 9th grade, now 11th grade. And this system is the international way of naming things. And so it's talking about this iron 3 sulfate. And so if you remember right, that is telling us that, hey, the iron has got a +3 charge. So that is telling you, letter C, the charge of the iron atom. On number 2, if you change the subscript, when we're talking subscripts, it'd be like, it's the smaller, lower number. Anyway, so if you go and you change the subscript in your formula, what that really does, it just changes exactly what that formula is. So it's changing what your compound is, so that would be letter C also. Okay, here, okay, so how many elements make up this compound? Well, you've got a carbon, a hydrogen, a nitrogen, and oxygen, so that'd be 4 different elements. Okay, and let me change this color here. It'd be 4 different elements. And how many oxygen atoms are present in one molecule of this? Well, you simply take 2 times 3, and you're going to get 6 different oxygen atoms. How many atoms total are present in this one? Well, when you went and counted them all up, you should have gotten that there was 21 different atoms in here. Okay, let's look at that. If you go and look here, there's 1 nitrogen, 2 oxygens for a total of 3 inside of the parentheses times 3. That's 9. Okay, and then we got to add 12 more, so that would be 21. Pause the video and discuss here if you need to. Okay, number 4. How many atoms are present in each one of these formula units? We haven't really talked about it, but whenever it starts with a metal, it is a formula unit. And so here are answers. There are 11 in this one. B is 45. Okay, and then if you need to pause this, go right ahead. That iron, this right here is a chlorine and an oxygen. Those are on your polyatomic ion chart, so you should have been able to figure that one out. If you were struggling and thinking that was a carbon, iodine, and oxygens, no. So go ahead and pause it here if you need to, but that is definitely the chlorine atom in there. Okay, the answers to this one would be 10 and 9. Okay, well, the next thing that I wanted you to do is I want you to go through it and I want you to figure out the answers for number 5. And then we'll go through them together. So go ahead and pause it here if you need to, and we're going to go over the answers. Okay, the answers to number 5. Notice it's got dinitrogen, so it's already telling you, because it's got these prefixes in front of it, it is telling you that, hey, these ones are covalent. So 5A is covalent, so it's telling you that you've got 2 nitrogens, and you've got 5 oxygens. Okay, what is the name of the compound for Fe? Ooh, it starts with a metal. Okay, and so it's going to be ionic. Okay, the only thing you have to worry about ionic is that you need to do this kind of like unswitch it, so you can figure out what the Roman numeral is on iron. So when I look at this, I see we've got iron. It could be a +2, a +3, a +6, but I do know that oxygen is a -2 for sure. So that tells me that, hey, iron is going to be a +2 because it is, you know, those 2, they cancel out to get the FeO. So it's going to be iron, 2, oxide. And don't forget that that last word, when it's just an ion from the periodic table, is an IDE on the end of it. Okay, what is the formula for barium carbonate? Barium is a +2. Carbonate is a polyatomic ion. You know that because it's got an ATE. It's a CO3 is a -2 on your polyatomic ion chart. So these two are going to cancel out, so it's going to just be BaCO3. Was the name, okay. That one again was ionic because it started with a metal. The next one down below, I see it starts with nitrogen. Nitrogen is a non-metal, so this one is going to be covalent. So this one needs the prefixes. Okay, so it's going to be trinitrogen, pentoxide. Oh, sorry, this is tetraphosphide. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go through all the answers on the next one. So I'd like you to turn over to the back side, quiz yourself, use your resources, figure out what the answers are on the back side of the sheet, but ask yourself, does it start with a metal or a non-metal? If it starts with a metal, it's ionic. You may need to do the switcheroo because those ones switch if you need to do that. Does it start with a non-metal? That means it's covalent, and that prefixes must be used to determine how many of each atom that there is. Okay, so here we go. We got aluminum sulfide. I know that, just some thinking here, aluminum is a +3, sulfide is -2, so you're going to get Al2S3. Cesium carbonate. Cesium is number 55 on the periodic table, is CS. Okay, it's got +1. Okay, carbonate is that CO3. By the way, this is a capital O, so make sure that you have good notation there. And so we got CS2, because we got to switcheroo this one. This does start with metal, and CO3. Okay, do not need parentheses around the CO3 because that is a 1 right here that is coming down, so that you do not need parentheses. This one here is going to be a lead chloride, but we don't know if that's lead 2 chloride or lead 4 chloride. So we've got PB, and it could be I'm kind of switching this. It could be a +2, it could be a +4, and then we got chloride, which we know always is a -1. So when you go and unswitch this one, you know, it's got that 2 that goes right up here, and this one had a 1 that went up there. Well, that makes sense. Okay, so this is going to be lead 2, Roman numeral 2, and then chloride. Okay, copper is one of those ones that we need to have a Roman numeral for it also because it is a transition metal. It's an ionic name. It's a transition metal. It's got more than one valence or more than one oxidation state. So it could be, copper could be a +1 or a +2. And NO3 is on your purple polyatomic ion chart, and it is a -1. So this makes sense that it is the +1 because they both canceled out to get CuNO3. So this is copper, 1 nitrate. Okay. NH4 is one of our polyatomic ions also, so that is ammonium. Ammonium, and then the last polyatomic ion, PO4, is phosphate. You know, that's the nice thing about ionic naming, which we've been doing all along here, that they all are so nice because they, you just name the ions. The biggest worry that you've got is figuring out, hey, is it going to be a Roman numeral or not? Otherwise, you just name the ions. Okay, coming up here, carbon. Carbon is definitely a nonmetal, so this is covalent naming. There's going to be 2 carbons, so it's C2. Okay, and then hexahydride. Hydride is hydrogen, so there's going to be 6 hydrogens. No switching involved with covalent, is there? Okay, and then moving up to the last 2. This is nice. This is saying, hey, we got 3 nitrogens, so it's trinitrogen. Trinitrogen, and then we've got 2 oxygens, so it's dioxide. Okay. Next one is starting out just the same as trinitrogen. Okay, and then we know that the last one has got a 1 understood, so this is monoxide. Okay, and remember that we don't write monos on the first one if the first one has got a 1 right there, but this one doesn't. We definitely write it on the second one, and that's the ones that students sometimes forget. So there's a quick review on what we know, and then I have an assignment for you to follow. Have a good day today.